Okay, guys, here we go. It's, what is it, Monday night. It's about 7 o'clock. On the phone, I got one of the gentlemen that got rescued Saturday night. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes, you do.
Okay, do you want to give your name? That's up to you. Whether you do your first name or not. How about we just call you Joe?
It doesn't matter. I'm easy with either or. You can call me Joe, or you can call me Brad.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, we'll call you Joe. So, Joe, why don't you walk us through what happened? What time did you show up there Saturday?
1 o'clock in the afternoon. We were fishing the day before, and the day before, and the day before, and it was very, very productive, and we ended up going a little later than anticipated.
What do you mean, that day? On Saturday, that day?
Yes, Saturday was the day. 1 o'clock we walked out.
At 1 o'clock. Now, how did you?
I felt fine. I'm not a very heavy individual, and I have a spud that I check the ice with ahead of me, and I know my capabilities with my spud.
Fair enough.
What I was up against.
Okay, so you went out at 1 o'clock. How many of there were you?
There were 4 of us.
Okay, so you went out at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
And so take us on from there. 1 o'clock you fished till what? About 5, right?
Yes, till
and with
about now. So
okay,
5, maybe 5:15 we fished till.
All right, and now within that time, you didn't notice anything, temperature change, texture of the ice, nothing like that?
I know it was very consistent throughout the whole afternoon. It was overcast, and I didn't feel like that I was in any danger coming in. At the same time, I never took into consideration my partners I was with.
I got you.
Individuals that
so what you're saying, they're bigger than you?
280 pounders.
Well, okay, fair enough.
He didn't wear his floater suit.
Okay,
he owns one, and he left it at home.
We've seen him on the video. We've seen him on the video.
Absolutely a scenario to just threat. If he had a floater suit on, it would have been a easier predicament getting him out of the ice.
Okay, so tell us, so now you're packed up, you're ready to go, you're starting walking.
What happened, we were still actually fishing, and there was a group of 4 or 5 walking in a kilometer away from us.
Okay, those people were also rescued, right?
Correct, and when the 2 of them went through, we immediately called, without even waiting to see if they got out.
What do you mean? Called them?
It doesn't hurt. Let's call.
Call. What do you mean by that? Called
911.
Oh, so you guys called 911.
Correct.
And
we called within 20 seconds of the.
Of those people. Okay, but at that time you guys were all right.
We were still fishing.
Okay, you were still fishing.
We hadn't even began to pack up, or hadn't even began to walk in, or any.
Okay,
any of that.
So go on.
So then the guys weren't getting out. The rescue teams were arriving, fire trucks, police officers, the boats were coming across. We had by this point packed up, got our stuff all ready to go, began to walk 200 yards, not even. Wham! The fellow that was at the back of our group, the big guy, went through. Turned around, ran back to him. He was the only one in our group without a floater suit. He was the only one that went through.
Okay.
I instantly took my fish hut, shoved it towards him.
Your clam.
He grabbed the back of the fish hut, was up to his armpits in water, tried to get out, it broke off. Tried to get out, it broke off. That went on for a 30-foot distance on the ice. We spotted a piece of white ice, like a different structure, and I knew that was a little harder than what we were on.
Okay.
We did a 90-degree turn and aimed straight for that, which was another 20, 30 feet. He's up to his armpit still, holding it. We're coaching him through, making sure he kept very calm. He was amazing in the water. I've never seen an individual so calm and relaxed, and we kept telling him, Dave, we're getting you out of here. Don't worry. Hang on. We're getting you out.
He was the only one in the water?
Sorry?
He was the only one of your group in the water at that time?
He was the only one of our group in the water.
Okay, and now how about that other group? Were they having troubles amongst themselves?
Were they ever? They were not getting out. They weren't. They both had floater suits on too. The two that were in, and they still weren't getting out. It kept breaking and breaking. And
okay, I just gotta have to ask you this: you weren't one of the guys. Were you the group that had the child? Did you have a child?
No.
Okay,
no.
fair enough. Fair enough. Then that was the other group. Okay, so let's move on here.
No, there was the four of us, and the one of us went through.
Okay, so your buddy's in the water. You're trying to get him out with. He's holding on the back of your clam.
Correct, and we're holding on to the front of it, to the bars. Me and my buddy holding the rope, and it kept breaking and kept breaking. So we steered him over to this piece of white ice that was, for some reason, a little harder, and it held him. We got him up on that.
I know what you're talking about there.
And then, and then we stayed put until the sand boats came.
Oh, okay, so you got him out.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so you got him on this solid piece of white ice.
Correct.
And then from that point, I guess one of the airboats came over. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so you all piled on that, and they took you all back to shore.
Yep.
And what was going on with the other group?
The other group had been rescued just prior to this time.
Oh, okay.
There were 3 airboats that came at once.
Okay.
It was pretty scary when the airboats came too, because the ice that we were standing on, they were breaking ice as they were coming, so there was about a 2-foot swell that it was creating going up and down on the ice.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and we're standing on this little chunk, all 4 of us.
That was
the hardest.
That's right. That's right.
I honestly, I do feel confident that I could have easily myself gone to shore.
I got you.
But I wouldn't do that and leave our craft. And one of the members in our group.
That's right.
Said, let's all stay together. The boat's coming. It's a smart move. If you go through on your way to shore, then there's another situation.
That's right.
You're right. And
that's right.
That was very smart of one of our individuals, for sure.
Well, for us, the most important thing is that everybody's okay. You're back on terra firma. Did you give police a report, or how did that work?
No, they just asked a few questions and how we were, and if we needed to jump into the emerge, go into the ambulance, if we were okay, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Did you have it?
We were all okay. There was no the one chap that was with us that was in the water for 5 minutes. He was in the ambulance getting treated for
hypothermia
10 minutes or so, or 15, and then was fine to get in the truck with us and carry home, and
good
conversation, and everything was fine. But it sure is a good eye opener for being prepared. And I had a life jacket also in my hut, spare, and a life pillow, one of those old life square.
I got you. I know the ones.
They used to qualify as a life jacket 20 years ago.
I know the ones
also, and I threw both of them to our bud that was in the water, and if he couldn't let go of the hut to grab those, being that scared, like the arm, he had them both around his arm, but they weren't doing a thing. It was a bizarre scenario.
Did you notice that there was a couple locals that jumped in their boat and tried to paddle out to the other group? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
So anyway, so we know the story. Everybody's safe, and I just now that I'm sure you want to thank everybody that was involved as far as the rescue.
We want to absolutely do whatever we can.
Well, no, you have the That's right. You have your opportunity right now just to go ahead and thank the people that were there to help you guys out in your most difficult situation, I would think.
They were insanely quick, and they were insanely professional. They were absolutely wonderful. When we got to shore, not one of them, if they were any one of us, they would have been razzing us for, if I was in the situation they were in rescuing them, it would have been so easy to throw a little joke comment in there.
That's right.
Oh, what are you thinking? What do you do? Not one of those comments was made. There wasn't one. They were
because
really,
that's
really quick.
That's right.
Really
we look
good.
at that.
They treated you well. They were They were pros.
Well, you don't kick a man when you're down. That's a number one thing, you know. But everybody was more concerned about your safety, and now that you're safe, that's all everybody cares about. The next thing is getting your stuff back to you. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back.